Okay, again, it's not right for you. Caitlin Sheridan is no longer in the team. The face of the franchise, the captain of the team, San Diego Waves, Canadian. Caitlin, there was a joke that we were talking with Craig. I was talking with Craig, and and he was like, "Wouldn't it be weird if she comes in and as an away team and she does a save, and then I just go rogue and say Caitlin Sheridan." Like,
she's the type of player that would honestly deserve that. Probably get cheers if she saves a penalty against the Wave because of how loved she is. It'll be fascinating to see when she comes in as an away player, because they always the Sirens and people of San Diego tend to give a lot of credit to the former players.
Yeah,
I do remember Taylor Korniak that got a lot of love. Taylor
Poe
now. Yeah, Matt Pogart, who didn't even play that much, got a lot of stuff. There was somebody else, Jaden Shaw, as well. Second time around, it wasn't as much, but Jaden Shaw definitely got a lot of credit as well. But there's somebody else too. I'm trying to remember. Kristen Westfall, I think.
I believe it. She's the one that got married, right?
Yeah, with Poe.
Yeah, okay. See, this is what interesting thing about NWSL. The storylines are more intertwined with the personal lives a little bit. So
Dude, I've been seeing so much stuff about Sam Kerr and the Christy Muse, not Sam, Christy Muse. Have you been seeing that?
I've been seeing Marta.
Oh, but Marta as well.
Yeah. Marta, come on, dude. That's fine. Sam Kerr's sure, but Marta, rock that suit. Again, how do I know these?
You know what's weird? This is a weird thing for me with certain athletes. When they're not wearing their uniform, they just don't look like real people to me.
Yeah, it's like seeing a teacher, your elementary school teacher at Walmart.
Yeah, but some players, it's okay, yeah, he's all fitted. Like Kenza Dali, you see her, she's dressed in all these crazy outfits. You're like, oh, this is sick.
Yeah.
Some players like Marta, it's that's just some person, some Brazilian person.
Yeah.
But when Marta is wearing her Brazilian jersey, you're just like, oh, whoa. It's different, when you see the purple Orlando Pride jersey, you're like, oh, okay, hold on. There's Marta speaking.
As the kids say, there's an aura about it, for sure. But all right. So this announcement came down, I want to say the 28th.
It was on a Monday, the 29th.
It was on my birthday. Yeah.
It was on the 29th at 1 p.m. Pacific time. I have this because I wrote something about it on All for Evan. You guys can go check it out.
Check it out.
It was one of our more clicked on things, I believe, because people were so surprised by it. I think they wanted to figure out what was up with that. But yeah, earlier in the day, they announced Mimi Van Zanten signed.
Okay.
Out of Florida State. Interesting defender. Good addition from what I can tell, just from what I've read and learned about her. Seems like a pretty interesting college addition. And then at 1 o'clock, bombshell. Wait, go ahead.
No, I was just the interesting way that was handled by the club, because again, there's this signing that's coming in, exciting college player being signed. Here's the email, guys. Just be on the lookout for it.
10 a.m.
Followed by, oh, by the way, here 1 p.m. We're gonna go ahead and release this news.
Embargoed information, which happens in reporting,
but it's just so funny. The fact that I know how that, hey guys, and then oh, by the way, and it was a reply all to, hey guys, just letting you know this also happening. Bye. And it's the most Friday at 6 p.m.
It's before New Year's. It's Monday. Everyone's mostly probably off, or if they are working, they're gonna have 30th and 31st off. We're gonna be like, okay, this is also happening. But we're also going to announce some stuff right after in the rest of the week. Leah Godfrey, Melanie Martinez,
Nia Harris,
Savannah McCaskill.
Oh wait, well that was later. But yes, that. So Savannah McCaskill was traded. But we got Nia Harris again. Woo.
Okay, player, World Sevens.
Thoughts on the new signings for the NCAA soccer? Mimi Van Zanten and Leah Godfrey. Do you have any thoughts on this before we get to Sheridan?
Good player, also plays for the Jamaican national team, so can definitely have more potential to keep growing, I think, especially. And she has an older sister that's in the NWSL team. Yeah. She plays for Houston. So talent in her blood. I'm sure she'll be a solid player. Don't know about consistent starter to start out, but maybe she can work her way into that level. Leah Godfrey, really good signing. I think that's somebody that's been in the U.S. youth national team levels and kind of been circled by a lot of NWSL teams. So but then she had a knee injury. They don't call them ACL injuries anymore. They know that they're probably ACL injuries, but she had a knee injury in 2023, I think. So she played 2024 and 5. No, maybe it was 2024. I don't know. She had a knee injury, but now she's going to be here, and she had a pretty solid season in her last season at Virginia. But she's already got the level shown at the U.S. youth national team level. She's like been. I think I like was Googling like when she first started. I think she was like one of the youngest players to play back like when she was like 14 with like the U16s, and then I was looking like U17. She's played with like Kennedy Wesley for like basically the whole time she's been at the youth national team level. So there's a little connection there. So I'm sure someone like Kennedy Wesley is like, oh, that's a great signing, you know. So there's a lot of potential in the Leah Godfrey signing, especially. I think that's the one that people are going to be really excited about, especially as midfielder, because she's going to be replacing somebody probably like a Savannah McCaskill.
Speaking of Savannah McCaskill, a loss. I would say a loss for SanDiego Wave team that, you know, you look at what's the direction, you know, with SanDiego FC, you look at what direction are they going? It's clear. Danish player base and young players that we can get them, and then just sprinkle in some DPs. That's going to be their direction, their modus operandi. SanDiego Wave.
Savannah McCaskill technically on the season ending injury list.
Correct.
So we're not sure when she's going to be coming back from that next year, but I think she'll probably be playing next season. She'll probably start on the injury list, but she'll probably come back. But this announcement's interesting too in comparison to the Kaylin Sheridan announcement, because Kaylin Sheridan, the team mutually agreed to part ways. Correct. Savannah McCaskill requested a move.
Correct.
According to their statement. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct. And with that, you know, like this is gonna start this discussion of where SanDiego Wave is as a team, as a professional sports team, the perception, where perception is reality, and whenever the reality does turn out to be the perception, it's kind of like, okay, nobody's surprised here. There's been a muck happening around this team where there's a lot of things going back to the Jill Ellis days and how Casey Stoney was handled, and obviously what happened with the front office employees and the litigation that followed through there. Like,
it's still ongoing.
It's still ongoing. There's been this malaise around SanDiego Wave that they have not been able to get themselves out of. Ron Burkle owns it. He has stuff, and right now, he's looking like a phenomenal sports business genius by turning this franchise over to the Leichman Levine family. Here you go. They're kind of like, okay, where's Jill Ellis with this? There was litigation with
between Jill Ellis and the
new ownership.
Yeah, Jill Ellis is suing them because I think she thinks she owed certain money, which is it's confusing.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to be a settlement at some point. So we'll probably never know the truth.
We'll never know. We're too poor to know. But again, this is all off the field stuff.
Yeah.
On the field stuff is unfortunately similar in the dysfunction that's been happening. You know, Savannah McCaskill requesting not wanting to be here. Reports are she wasn't happy with the way that her injuries were handled going into even the playoff situations. And that's unfortunate. She did not like being here in SanDiego. And Savannah McCaskill. And so that's why she requested to not be part of the squad moving forward. Gets traded to a relatively decent team in Gotham. So all the best to her. But this is a player that was giving you her all. 110% of her being out there. Potentially, and this is
the point where she got injured. Yeah.
Got injured and was still going because her injury happened earlier than the timeline where she was shelved. And so why didn't the medical team move in and say, hey, stop, she can't play? Or the medical team did say, hey, this player
shouldn't
be playing. And maybe GMs, soccer ops, somebody decided we need to win at all costs, redline her.
Yeah.
Redline her, lost her for the season. Big reason why you could potentially made a bigger push.
Just to be clear, this is stuff that you're saying as sourced information.
This is absolutely this is source information.
Okay.
From multiple sources. And again, from this point forward, this is what it will be is multiple sources from different triangulations actually.
Yeah. So our conversation about like Guti and stuff, that was all kind of like, oh, this is kind of what it's all like. That was kind of broad. We're just saying this is what could be. Yeah, this is the ether. This is actual stuff that Tony got sourced and credibly and legitimate. Okay.
Yeah. And so, this is one instance with one player that was giving their all, that the fan base was actually rallying around. This is a player that you send over to the community because you don't really get involved in the community as much as you think you do. And the opportunity as a club to do that is left to be desired of. But that is a big loss for that. Then, the Portland game happens.
Mm-hmm.
Playoff game. Sav is still injured. The source information was that in this flight up there, she's still injured. There are still protocols to follow for an injured player, for their player safety. I would think that I want the player who I'm paying for to have the best chance to be healthy, recover positively. I put them in the best available seating in terms of where we're traveling on the plane, not in the back of the plane, I don't want to say riffraff, but like in the middle of everything, in the middle aisle seat. Like that's just not conducive to recovery.
Sometimes it's chartered flights. Sometimes it's commercial flights. I think when it comes to like playoff games and stuff, it probably was a commercial flight, right?
Yeah. And that's unfortunate. And drip, the straw that broke the camel's back. Savannah McCaskill is no longer in San Diego Wave.
It was announced second.
Yes.
But this is something that has been expected according to you, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, if just on the outside, like obviously we cover this team, but I wouldn't have expected a move like this just because of how important she is to the midfield. But we also see things like, hey, the Wave players from the Wave ask out because of how they're being treated or just things that they generally feel. We saw that with Jaden Shaw. We saw that with Taylor Flint. We saw that with Naomi Girma.
It's funny business.
Yeah.
Funny business.
There's been funny business. And I think it's fair to say that it's kind of a pattern.
When you have a player that has reportedly come down with a sickness and is potentially put in the line to get other people sick without wearing a mask and say, hey, you know what? You're fine to play. Go out there and play. Per HIPAA, I don't want to necessarily discuss what the condition or player was, but it's something that, again, is happening. Delphine Cascarino coming back from the Euros. There was a workload on that player.
At the Euros.
And before in Wave, she was doing phenomenally. And in order to do that, she needs to go ahead and
MVP conversation.
100%. Comes back, hey, gets evaluated. Maybe she needs to go ahead and rest a little bit, recover a little bit. Nope. Put her out there. Redline her. That's what they did. Cascarino gets injured once again. They lose her for a little bit. Then she regains her form towards the end of the season, that Utah Royals game. Like she comes back, but you lose her because of negligence. And again, that's inexcusable. Like player safety and the way that they're handling it.
Especially when it's your star players as well.
Yes. If it's your star player, what chance does any other player have in this situation? You're adjusting it. Cool. But there are overall cuts that are happening. This team isn't making money. This team isn't bringing in 35,000 fans like San Diego FC is. Like the model that's possible is being seen, right? If you're a business investor, if you're ownership and you're seeing that on the other side of Snapdragon, like, okay, it's possible. Why aren't we getting any of this?
They experienced it. They had higher attendance numbers in years past. Even you could maybe attribute that to Alex Morgan, Naomi Girma, some more U.S. Women's National Team players. But I think it's also just could be general form. It could be the perspective on the team itself from seeing players that were beloved choosing to leave and wanting to leave, whether it be Naomi Girma or Jaden Shaw. Like that, I think that definitely affected a lot of people. And then also the coaching. The coaching carousel that occurred.
And again, I have it under good sourced information that there's a message going outwards to American players to circle and just cross wave as a do not go there destination.
And honestly, the whole NWSL with American players at this point, the way that they're being paid and the way the HIP rule is happening, I think from what I've heard, a lot of American players and just international players generally are confused about the way that the NWSL is handling this and kind of getting in their own way of not wanting to pay the best talent or bring the best talent in. So, and to hear that from specific Wave standpoint, that's kind of like it's surprising, but at the same time, like, oh well, if there's always people leaving because it stinks, maybe it stinks.
Yeah,
you know,
like
if there's always people going to the restaurant and saying I didn't have a good meal, and there's always people leaving. You're like, oh, that's weird. Maybe I shouldn't go eat there, you know?
There's a common denominator. And it's the decision making that's happening within the club. And if you really want to go ahead and track back on where that decision making is happening, look no further than who the one that puts this team together. The GM, Camille Ashton, how would you classify her success at Kansas City?
It's hard to say because she was part kind of the thing that put together Kansas City not last year but the year before.
Yeah.
And then Vlatko came in and kind of usurped her role and became like full-time sporting director.
Yeah.
And kind of just like had a promotion over her and she didn't really have any control anymore. So she left and joined Wave at the beginning of this, like after the season had already started, and Molly Downton left the Wave, which was kind of a surprising move as well. And it's still where is Molly Downton anyways right now? It's confusing, but she was a big part of the Wave's inception and creation. So, and then I think Camille Ashton has brought in interesting players. Like I think the French movement has been a success. You can barely like say that, bringing in a lot. I think they probably brought in more international players that have been successful than they did at the beginning. Like, who are the international players that went and they started? Sophia Jakobsen, right? Like, trying to think who else.
Jody.
Okay. Carly Telford.
Yeah. Well, it's Kaylin Sheridan.
Yeah, Kaylin Sheridan, but she's technically, because she was on it's a whole thing. But she doesn't count as a national roster spot, but. Internationally, I think the scouting worked in that way that they brought in some really good players. Hannah Lundqvist as well.
Lundqvist, yeah. So
who's gone now, but
down to Manchester United to
Dudinha,
to other pastures. Dudinha coming in and being a revelation herself, and maybe that's going to be a key to open it. But you lose a Maria Sanchez, a Maria Sanchez that was not happy here with the playing time that she was given by the club, so she decided to go elsewhere. Players that aren't coming back, Mackenzie Robbie, Kira Carusa, also weren't as happy as they could have potentially been at this club. And even if they were offered something, I don't think they would have accepted and stayed. And again, you're talking about what's building this team. The modus operandi, twice I used it this episode, the way that San Diego FC, you're going to look it up, the way of operating. For San Diego Wave is going to be young college talent and international players. That's what this core is going to be. If that is even a solid direction to go, that's up for discussion. Where again, San Diego FC, you know the direction that they're going. Is this a viable thing where we're just going to get all these young, hungry, talented players that may not be able to cut it at the big leagues. We'll see. It's left to be determined this season.
But there's some of them definitely are, I think.
Yes.
Like Kim Escanio,
Correct.
Trinity Armstrong. These are
Yes.
players who are probably going to be part of the U.S. youth national team levels for Trinity Armstrong. Yeah.
Armstrong, who's out for an undisclosed amount of time.
And posted an Instagram picture with
Yeah.
a full
ass cast. That's a
cast on the
full.
knee.
That's a big girl cast.
That's like you got surgery cast.
Mm-hmm. Last time I saw it was Andres Reyes, actually.
Oh,
All right. Yes, we're gonna get to Kaylin Sheridan right now for sure. But with these big budget cuts, it's because the way that San Diego Wave and San Diego FC even make a profit is because they rent a stadium, is based on the ticket sales. And so if nothing's coming in as much as you'd hope for, you have to go ahead and cut the budget elsewhere. And so across the board, things like the permanent training facility, again, source information, they still have no clue when, if that is even going to happen at this point.
which is kind of crazy at this point for them to still be where they are at the Polo Fields. Obviously, it's a great like field itself, great pitch, great conditions. The field itself is immaculate, but the modular facilities that exist there are definitely something to be desired. I think all the players everyone would probably agree. I think Jonas Eidevall even caped to that. He said he didn't even have a door on his office when he first came in.
Talk about open door policy, right? But there's players who came from France and were told, hey, you're coming here, and
you come from a place like PSG,
Paris Saint-Germain, and you're playing the Parc des Princes, and then you come to a trailer, that's
you drive on a dirt trail to a trailer, in Del Mar,
and sometimes you get the woof of the horse stables nearby,
and sometimes you get a beautiful ocean breeze.
Yeah, absolutely, and outside of that, you were at training a couple times, and you saw this cool little trailer outside, which ended up being the new nutrition aspect of a professional sports team in San Diego Wave. They invested in nutrition for the players and said, hey, we're going to go ahead and hire some specific chefs for this. Nope, budget cuts by. We're not going to do that. We're going to go ahead and resort back to the vendoring. We're going to go ahead and have
that happened during the season?
No. It's going to happen leading into this season, into this next season. So these are some of the budget cuts that are happening internally to save money, to be a little bit more frugal and smart, but those are not signs of a healthy club. And I think that
a club that has a true vision as far as building something truly permanent and strong, and has a well-formed base, especially when you compare it to something like what's happening in Kansas City, where they build their whole own facilities, they built their whole own stadium. Angel City, they built a whole training facility. Obviously, they're not going to build a new stadium, it seems like, in LA, but they have a whole new training facility where Cal Baptist is, and they have huge rooms for media, for building their own content for mothers and stuff, things like that are really cool and interesting. Boston and Denver kind of have that baked into their whole expansion strategy. They have to technically, I think that seems like a new thing that's necessary out of expansion teams now from the NWSL. It seems like a lot of NWSL teams are starting to require these type of things. Even the Atlanta team supposedly has some interesting things in the work. But as far as permanent training facilities go here in San Diego, we've heard nothing since the beginning. I heard a rumor one time when I was at training, but it was just a rumor from some person that has no power over that. And it's the rumor I heard was hey, why don't we take over Chargers Park?
Oh yeah, Murphy Canyon. Yeah. That would be fantastic.
Seems pretty easy.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's going to cost some money.
Yes,
but seems like hey, that's a potential thing if you want to build your own.
Raise your flag there across the street from Snapdragon Stadium, where you share with SDFC. Rent it out during international breaks for teams that are going to come in instead of them practicing at the Olympic Training Center. Have a world-class facility there.
Yeah, I mean, there are teams. The U.S. Women's National Team practiced at SDFC's training, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
That's a ways out.
Yeah, but they
Yeah.
they still did it. I mean, it's really interesting to see that this has not really seemed like a priority
Mm-hmm.
from a team, from when you compare it to the rest of the NWSL that has made it a priority.
And as I spoke with
and been proud to make it a priority.
100%. And what I spoke with San Diego FC too, like it's the reality too of, hey, they're real life people. There are people that are working their ass off in the background, like the ticket sales people, the people who, you know, put in the orders for the giveaways. Like these are legitimate things. And much like all of us in a job, we're probably doing, one person does 17 jobs.
That's generally American corporate culture.
Yeah, correct. But in a professional setting of a sports team, I think it's incumbent of them to want to fill out a lot more of these things. And the easy things, like Esteban's pointing out, they haven't reached out to creators, haven't seen a single creator promote Wave games or anything. How easy is it to just do that? There's something that San Diego FC was lacking a little bit. Now they fixed it with the local creators. They were outsourcing creators from LA to come in and ignoring what we had here in their backyard. They kind of got their head out of their ass and started working with the local folk, and it's paid dividends, and that's fine. And there's people who want to go ahead and do that. They're the only team that have SanDiego.Futbol Spanish in their club that don't use it. They could easily, this is very self-serving, come to the Chula Vista Elementary School District with a high population of Latino individuals and say, you know what? We're going to sponsor a whole school to come to our game. We're going to sponsor not even a whole school. We're going to sponsor the entire 5th grade class of the Chula Vista Elementary School District to come to a game.
And they do that at some levels, technically, with like as far as youth tournaments go, technically. But you also have to be a part of their tournament, and then you get
Morgan's Foundation does it too. But that's Morgan separate.
Though. Yeah, Morgan separate.
Which, by the way, with all these things that we're kind of pointing out, I have it on authority that Alex Morgan herself, a minority owner, is not happy with it.
Okay,
and so
that's interesting too.
That is an interesting aspect, and I think that's a impetus.
How much power do minority owners have? That's where this question comes into play. She's gonna be on the like marketing stuff. She's technically a minority owner. She's probably on the website. They have a whole retirement game for her and for her number. And then when she maybe has problems with the way things are being run and has connections to people on the team who probably she's probably more accessible as far as ownership goes, to the players than actual ownership is, just because they were on the team together. You know, they probably have a number. They were in group chats together. You know, things like that. So it would not surprise me at all if Alex Morgan's definitely not happy with the way things are.
Yeah, and that's a equity that a person just herself has that she can maybe use here and there.
Jimmy Butler too. I forgot about that.
Yes, very true. Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler. Yeah.
I'm not sure how concerned Jimmy Butler is. Hey, hopefully, maybe he is with the concern of a fellow athlete. Like the things that we're talking about, these are things that a fellow athlete is suffering. Like if this happened in the NBA,
I mean, Jimmy Butler is the main person that when he wants out, he gets out. So it sounds like all these players
to the Jimmy Butler Academy.
Hey Jimmy, how do I do this?
Well, you gotta ask. But then they're gonna say it's mutual. Well, we'll get to that.
Okay. Yeah, mutual. Right. Now let's get there.
Okay.
So you've set the groundwork with all this sourced information, which is fascinating. This is stuff that you've reported on and found out. I think is very fascinating, and it passes the smell test too. Generally, when you look at the pattern of what's happening with San Diego Wave.
Yes.
And now we reach this huge point, a tsunami of news. I don't know what you would call it, wave, metaphor, whatever.
Yeah, tsunami. There hasn't been a deadly one in a while. It's fine. You can you can get away with that.
Kaylin Sheridan
is no longer San Diego Wave player, according to the way it went down, and
according to San Diego Wave's official press release.
This was I want to use the exact words. All right. San Diego FC today announced that, not today, but they announced San Diego Wave announced that the goalkeeper Kaylin Sheridan have mutually agreed to terminate her contract. So in a league where a player gets to have input on where they get traded is fascinating to see that both sides would have agreed, yes, let's go ahead and do this. But that's not exactly what that means. It's not exactly both parties came to the table, were like, do you want to go ahead and terminate? And then was like, yeah, okay, mutual.
There's mutual agreement can mean so many things too in terms of contract language. Because I could sit here and be like, Tony, you suck. I hate you so much. I hate you. I don't want to be around you. You're you sicken me. Blah 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 blah. This is the absolute worst.
You said that before we started rolling,
and you can be like, okay, I guess I'll leave.
Okay.
Hey everyone. So Tony and I mutually agreed. That I said things aren't working out.
Yeah.
We're gonna go talk to new people, make new podcasts, and explore the future. This was a mutual agreement.
I said yes.
But we both decided this.
Did I want that? No. Did Kaylin Sheridan want to be released? The answer is no. And you and Chiva had an emergency podcast, and you guys. I was stuck in the mountain. It was my birthday. I was eating at the Bear Cafe, and
how many bears were out there?
I mean, including me. Terrible. None. Not enough.
Okay,
actually, not enough. Actually, and I was thinking like I was waiting for one bear. Like, no, they had one in the zoo. They have a zoo up there, and it was low-key sad.
Yeah,
like,
it was
just
sad. I like the bears at the San Diego Zoo. They're like so far away from people too. But then sometimes I feel bad. I'm like, this is Balboa Park on a hot day.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be out here.
Oh, the polar bears. Oh, and they put them on the hill closest to the sun where it's hotter. Anyway, no, she did not want to go. This you and Chiva discussed this. What was that? What was your reaction?
It
what
was
did you guys
mostly
talk
just
about?
shock and surprise. We also talked about just like her form towards the end of the season. Obviously, I don't think this was her greatest season. It's probably like lowest season, but still good enough. Great, good enough as solid as a goalkeeper, as your captain as well. So important to the leadership of this team. I think that's very fair to say and assess. She was always the one to be front facing, even though if it wasn't as much to the media as we would have liked. I think internally it seemed like everyone was very cool with the way she was leading the team and as its captain, as one of its more longest tenured players. That kind of thing matters in sports, just being around the most and knowing what's happened and stuff. And she's a vocal person in that way. And and especially when you're a goalkeeper and you're starting every single thing, that kind of can at times mean more. So I think in that front, it feels irreplaceable as far as Kaylin Sheridan, player like that. And a part of what I think was like one of the coolest moments in Snapdragon history on my probably Mount Rushmore is her saving Samantha McCaskill's penalty kick.
Yes,
in the inaugural game in 2022, September 17th. I want to say.
Yeah. Second loudest I've ever heard Snapdragon.
Yeah, San
it was
Diego
one for a while.
Game. Yeah, but maybe Shakira. We don't know. We they gotta let us in for that so we could get the term.
SanDiego.Futbol is the Snapdragon event of the year.
But no, it was just that's something I'm always going to remember in San Diego sports history, and I think she's now ingrained at San Diego sports history forever because she's been one of the faces of the club alongside Alex Morgan. Like she. In a lot of those early press conferences in 2022, she was up there, like she got a red card. She was crying on the side of the field during games at Torero Stadium. Like you could tell her heart was with this team in San Diego. And it seems like it's tough for a lot of people to see her leave.
It really is. And you start to look at, okay, did she want to go? I initially would say no, based on before I got any sort of sourced info and any sort of anything, simply because she had the Keeper Institute event
and stuff. They would have events
and still does here on January 10th on Saturday, which will be very fascinating.
We're going to Monster Jam. Sorry.
Oh, you're going to watch the destruction of Snapdragon's Field? Just fuck it up. I could see you with a pennant with a Snapdragon field on it, like just the field.
No, don't drive. Just like protesting.
Hey, with a
Save
with
the pitch.
with a straw helmet with juice boxes.
Oh. I'm just hold a sign that says "Never forget," and it's the guy squeeging the water.
Do they allow that? I kind of want to make that for you. All right, but yeah, the Keeper Institute. Obviously, she just had a child, and that's something that is a big life decision to make. Did you see? Because it made it rounds. Kaylin's wife's post.
Yeah, I did. I think I saw it on Blue Sky. But it was on Instagram. She posted on Instagram. It's very emotional.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people see them as like a strong power couple here in the city, and she's always been pretty active and like with the Sirens as well, I believe, right? Like she's a lot of times in the things with them. She would take pictures with them, even like when they had their big like Kaylin Sheridan. They had a freaking Kaylin. How many goalkeepers get that where everyone shows up in your kit?
Not a lot.
And everyone's wearing your orange kit. And even with how hard it is to even buy a goalkeeper's kit.
Yes.
And I remember she was her partner was in the stands and also there with the fans while they were wearing her kit.
But yeah, and it seems like from that post that Kaylin's wife posted on Instagram that they were taken by surprise. That this was not something that they were looking forward. They were looking forward to really rooting themselves in the city.
I mean, yeah, when you think about like your lease and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like these are things that just, in the sports world, it's visceral.
Yeah. I mean, you have all your kids' doctors here, stuff like that, especially when you have like such a young child as well.
The
like,
puppy's vet.
Yeah.
The
puppy from the animal pad, which is like that's a whole like she's been such a big part of the community in that way. That's kind of crazy when you think about it. I think about that video that Ryan made with her. Do you remember that when like it was like a whole like vlog, day in the life type of vlog, and it's just like such a real person,
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
So from multiple sources, it just kind of comes down to the fact that Kaylin Sheridan was not factored into the plans for 2026. Period.
And it's professional sports.
Yeah. And again, we can feel the way that we want to feel with that, however we want. But from what my understanding is that I
think even Dom said this as well in her post as well. This happens in professional sports.
Yeah.
Even if you're the star face of the team, this can happen to you.
And I think the message was, and again, if you really want to track back to who's making these decisions, you can pretty much find out exactly where these words were or messages are coming from. The message was, we're looking to replace you with somebody that's younger and cheaper.
And that happens to goalkeepers across soccer, and it's unfortunate. And it's really tough to see, especially in a salary cap sport. This is not surprising at all. Younger, cheaper, all the time.
Yeah.
That's what the NWSL is starting to become.
Yeah.
Because they're not willing to pay top dollar for their players. And even for the players that aren't at like the complete highest level. You don't usually pay goalkeepers like super large amount, but these amounts add up, and it makes it tough to even build and develop a roster.
Yeah.
So it sucks, but that's what happens when you have a salary cap.
And so this was something where, from my understanding, is Sheridan wanted to stay. Like she wanted to compete. She said, like, I want to go ahead and play for this. I want to go ahead and do this, and that was not an option.
And it's one thing for you to say, like, hey, we're bringing a new goalkeeper. We're gonna have a competition, but it's another thing for them to be like, hey, you're gone.
And well, bring in a new goalkeeper, right? There's nobody who's brought in at the
Didi
moment.
Heritage is they technically said they're under contract negotiations, but she could potentially leave.
Yeah, who would want to stay? Who would want to stay at this point that doesn't know any better? And by knowing any better is knowing what's on the surface, knowing all the things that have happened. Like, sure, you can look at any sport and look at franchises that are dysfunctional, that are laughably, inappropriately, grossly incompetent.
Yeah.
And you could be like, okay, I can see why people don't want to be drafted to the Browns.
Yeah.
I can see why.
Browns, the Jets.
I understand that.
The Pirates.
The Pirates.
Happens in baseball too. The A's.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes in development, like maybe we'll go to the A's. But then at the same time, it's like a new free agent's not going to sign with the A's, even if they are offering them. The Angels.
Yeah.
There are certain teams that have a stink to them.
The least desirables. And it seems like San Diego Wave.
That's why Anthony Rendon signs with the Angels. Yeah.
Yeah, and just rips them off for years. I'm going to retire.
Kind of deserve it. Have you been following that Tyler Skaggs story?
Yes.
Yeah. Really sad.
Yeah, at the moment, like, just
read up on that, y'all. It's pretty sad. Sports are scary and sad.
Sports are gross.
Be careful. Don't do drugs.
But I mean, that's where Wave is heading, into this undesirable sort of. Let's not go there. Let's just.
And word gets around amongst players as well.
And it has internationally. There are players right now who are no longer in San Diego Wave FC who are actively telling other players, don't go there. Don't go there. And why would they? Like, I think they would rather go to a WSL team, maybe not the top of the top of Chelsea or whatever, but they'll explore over there. You saw.
I mean, it happened at so many different levels. I mean, like Maria Sanchez, she could tell people, if you're a Mexican player, say, hey, maybe can I go? Yeah, Mexico's great. Come try it out here. I get treated great here. I think it is.
Yeah, 100%.
How'd you get treated in San Diego?
Yeah, you guys want the San Diego experience? Go with Cholos. Like, if you cross the border, you're international. Like, you have a passport. Go. You can come back to and from San Diego if you want to. You don't have to deal with a trailer to train at. You're gonna.
Cholos is a tough comparison.
It is a tough comparison, but at least they have some sort of facilities.
To even be making the comparison is crazy, considering where the NWSL holds themselves on the global scale, where they perceive themselves as, we're the top league in the world, we're the most competitive, we're the most this, we're investing at such high levels, and then you have things like this, stories like this, not wanting to pay the people with the salary cap stuff.
Yeah,
your young talented stars that you should want to never leave, like a Alyssa Thompson, like a Naomi Girma, like a Jenna Neiswanger, who might potentially be coming back to Angel City, it seems, but a Mia Official, who ends up coming, but then she ends up coming back, but not to San Diego.
No, and
Katerina Macario.
Yeah, she's in San Diego. She was in San Diego.
She was hanging out in San Diego,
chilling out. Did she really want to play? And that's where, for me, AFC, yeah. For me, again, not being a fan of Wave SDFC, Go Soccers. They pay me.
They don't. So
go
NASL. That's fun. Indoor soccer's good. I'm glad. UPSL. I'm glad. Did I call it NASL?
You did call it NASL. PASL.
Formerly known as the
MISL. But like, this is a representation of San Diego,
which sucks.
It absolutely blows.
Because that's what it was when the Chargers were here. Mm-hmm. And I hate to use that word.
Yep.
I hate to make the comparison.
I think earlier Philippe said that, like, is this a new, our Wave ownership, Wave owner somehow related to Dean Spanos or the Glazers?
They have the same representation.
Hey, yeah, I got you following the Soccers. Check them out. But it's a representation of San Diego that
sucks, dude.
It's unnecessary. Like, you were there. You had this city.
You still can.
Sure, but it's.
I'm not saying it's. I think, and people tend to, especially when it's still here in San Diego, people tend to fall in love and stay in love with the players that are here, that are committed, that are like trying their best. Because I don't think any of this stuff that we've been talking about can be attributed or blamed on players.
No.
Or
nothing,
like an environment that they create too. Sometimes It's like, oh, the players are creating a toxic environment. It doesn't seem that way at all.
From my understanding, Kenza is very demanding and she's kind of hard on the players and teammates and everybody, but That's because she has a standard.
And that's a good thing in sports. You want
100%.
players like that too.
Yeah, and that's why she's going to be the captain coming up more than likely.
I think it's probably going to be Kennedy Wesley, but I don't think it should be, but I think it will be.
Kenza has enough grasp of the English language.
She doesn't wear the correct color. She doesn't wear the right flag of red, white, and blue. Her flag is red, white, and blue, but it's not the right flag for what they would want to choose marketing wise.
Le Blues. Well, I mean, marketing wise, like the biggest.
If I had to choose, if my choice, Kenza Dali was the cap. We talked about this all last year. Kenza Dali was already the captain.
Who is on? Okay, because they replaced her. Yeah, 100%. Like I was like, who's on their header? And because that used to be Kaylin Sheridan right in the front and center. It's the internationals. There's one American.
Who plays for the U.S. youth national team across a lot of levels and the actual senior national team.
Yeah,
sorry.
as of now.
Now the senior national team.
You have a ghost in Adriana Leon and, some good French players and Gia Corley.
Yeah. Who technically she might play for America too. She hasn't officially.
She hasn't, yeah.
So she did an American camp most recently, which is really interesting. Like, she could end up with the U.S. Could go back to Germany. It's
or McNabb. I mean, McNabb. That's a stronghold right now.
That's the only one. Who's the second longest tenured player on the Wave?
This is a good Melanie Barcenas.
Yep.
Yeah.
She's 18.
Yeah. And that's the face of your franchise. If you want to talk about marketing value,
who is do you think Melanie Barcenas is the face of franchise? I guess she is now. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the face of your franchise.
Maybe Delphine.
Do enough people in the soccer verse
in San
Diego know Cascarino over Barcenas? I don't think so.
Not in San Diego, no. But if you ask the international women's soccer community, it's Delphine Cascarino.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
If here in San Diego, I think most people would point to Mel B probably.
In all of these things, this isn't even though it feels like a little bit like a Wave hit piece, these are the facts that have been presented through sourcing, and I would love to hear otherwise. I would love to hear from the club this isn't happening with the subsequent evidence that it's not happening. I want to hear from the club what the direction is. I want to hear from the club where they're going to represent the city of San Diego in a soccer way that's not going to be negative, because the only thing outside of a promising decent playoff push last season, that's the only positive thing since the Shield. And it feels like the Shield win has been completely erased from this club. They don't talk about it. They don't mention it. There's no real panache that kind of gets carried with winning the NWSL Supporter Shield. Maybe because it was Casey Stoney who lifted it up along with a retired Alex Morgan and now gone Kaylin Sheridan. Like, that's a foregone thought. It almost feels like that never happened.
That was my big complaint at the beginning of the season after it. Yeah, they won the World Sevens. They won the World Sevens. It's an important tournament.
Monetarily as well.
But like, it's also 7-on-7 soccer. Not the, what would you call it? The Kings games, not the Queens games, not the true football. It's a little bit different.
It's not TST.
Yeah, that's true too. But World Sevens, it was fun to watch. But this is all fascinating. Yeah, but I remember when Ryan was here and we were talking about it for like 4 hours or whatever. They have no signage anywhere at Snapdragon Stadium that or no banners, no anything that shows we won an NWSL Shield. I don't know what they're going to do with the World Sevens plate thing. It looks cooler than the NWSL Shield. Honestly,
it really does. Yeah,
it's wooden. Like, what are they going to do with it? Like,
they should put it in the trailer.
I don't like. They could put it up somewhere. Like, it looks kind of small. I don't know. They could put it somewhere on the stadium, right? No, I don't know. But
there is a competition with CONCACAF.
Yeah,
but
they were in it.
They were in it this last season.
Not last season, the season before when they landed Donovan. Yeah, when they went to Panama. Landon Donovan took over as head coach. They lost to America.
Jeez.
Was it tie or lost to Portland?
It's a lifetime ago. That is
what, Landon Donovan?
Landon Donovan and Paul Buckle. Jeez. I remember being on the way to Copa America in the car. I had Chiva in the car, and I stepped outside to be in that press conference with Paul Buckle, one of the three. And we were just like, what are we doing? I think yeah, of course, it's only the three of us on there. I think you might have been on there. You might not have been on there, but I'm just like, what are we doing? Like, okay.
Crazy.
But
look, hey, this is interesting. Here, this is a marketing poster that they had during the announcement of their was it Altamar jerseys. It's interesting to see who they have on this, as far as the way they built the roster and what it is. So here on top, in the bright colors, you have Melanie Barcenas, who Tony has determined is the face of the franchise.
Yes.
Mackenzie Roby, who is
Gone.
no longer with the team, but was one of the longest tenured players on the team. And Kennedy Wesley, right? Is Kennedy Wesley up on?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Kennedy Wesley, who took over some of the captain's duties when Kaylin Sheridan wasn't there. On the bottom side, is it the same players in blue?
Same players in blue.
Okay.
Which
I remember
I
had there was a like cup holder too thing that I had, and like Maria Sanchez was one of the main players featured in this.
God, I love the studio sometimes. I know exactly where the shit it's at in this mess.
Yeah, see, so like Maria Sanchez is one of your main players that's being highlighted here. You have Kaylin Sheridan on there as well. Who else is on there? Let me see that. You have bad eyes. Mackenzie Roby and Delphine Cascarino and Kennedy Wesley and Kaylin Sheridan.
Yeah.
Man. Kaylin, this is just crazy, man. It'll be interesting to see where she ends up.
Yeah. Sources did say that she already has a team.
Yeah.
She already has a team.
Likely in the NWSL too.
Yes.
That's what I expect as well.
Yeah. And so that news will be coming out soon. I'm waiting for, again, this is how modus operandi.
Mm-hmm.
Did you look it up?
Yeah.
Isn't it
exactly
cool?
right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It's a dope word.
Waiting for it.
For myself, I don't come in here and say, hey guys, source information from one of my sources. I always want to make sure I have two. Always.
At least, yeah. Like, and at times it's more than that. But
yes,
if one person tells you something, it's, okay, that one guy told me something, or that one girl told me something.
This is the question that's been here from the beginning, and then he put it earlier.
Who we trade for? Who do you want to see them sign? Who do you want to see them bring in? Probably from what you said, it sounds like a young, cheap goalkeeper that could be from an international team.
Because they were looking for that French goalkeeper from Juventus.
Oh, okay.
The name escapes me. Goalkeeper, Juventus, women's game. Pauline, or another guy. Oh, they have her sister. Juventus has Cascarino's sister.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
That'd be cool. Yes, I know there was another name that was floated earlier. Where'd it go? But any guess right now is as good as anybody's. Oh, yeah, here we go.
Claudia Dickey.
Trade for Claudia Dickey. In her prime, in her really good playing games, she's really good. Really good. Comparable to Kaylin Sheridan, as good as Kaylin Sheridan, as impactful as Kaylin Sheridan. I
can be maybe, but it'd be tough. I mean, she just signed a contract with Seattle, I believe, like a re-signing. Let me figure.
But again, like I can just go look at Stanford and just go through
that's their
pipeline.
defenders. That's what they're gonna.
The defender, the pipeline for defenders, over there.
Yeah, in May she signed a multi-year contract extension with Seattle. A player like that, but you never know. If you have 1 year left on your contract, it seems like you're free to get moved. Which is all the players that have been moved are the ones that have had 1 year left on their deal or at the end of it. But Claudia Dickey seems like a player, especially when they let Fallon Tullis-Joy. I forgot. She plays for Man United now, I believe. But the goalkeeper that Seattle used to have that they transferred over it seems like you don't transfer a really good player like that unless you have someone that you want to keep long term, like Claudia Dickey. So
exactly. Isaac saying I started following Wave due to Maria bought the Aldamada jersey with her number, and now she isn't on the team. Think about it. How many of those jerseys from the Sirens?
Philippe named like so many different jerseys. He has McCaskill's jersey, he has Orlovsky's jersey, he has Luca La Torre's jersey.
Put that in the
Philippe. That's like maybe Philippe is cursed.
But what?
Maybe Philippe is cursing these players.
Hey, get an Adriano Leon jersey. That was
unnecessary.
I mean, it's gonna go into the museum of stadium renderings.
Players and staff could be listening. Will probably be listening to this.
Will be. Hey, show me, Adriana. Show me that you want to stay. Show the people that you want to stay. She did do okay in the 7v7, but 7v7 also saw a Colombian center back come in and score a goal as well for San Diego Wave.
Yeah, Nia Harrison, who got like maybe like 3 minutes this actual season. During the regular season is re-signed. That surprises me. I thought she was gonna end up the way she seemed like she was wanted to leave and go play for an Asian team, go to the Philippines because she plays for the Philippines women's national team and wants to get more minutes over there. And I'm sure it'd be a lot easier if you're staying in that.
Facer, not here.
Lorena Facer is probably going to be staying. She's a young player too, so she'll be staying. She's like Kenzadali's best buddy. Seems the way Kenzadali talks about it.
Like a little mini me.
Yeah, it's
situation.
That's sweet, and I expect them to be stalwarts in the midfield. That's a new word I learned this week.
Stalwart.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I not embarrassingly recently I learned Wonderkin.
Okay.
Because I always thought it was like a Wonder Kid.
Yeah, it's kind of close.
But it is close. But everybody like I used it and it was like, oh no, you're dumb. And I was like, I was like, oh, okay.
I always hate that because it's like the Wonderkin comes from the same like
root.
It comes from, I'm sure it comes from the same Latin root or Greek root or whatever that it wonder.
Yeah, it's a Germanic background and like
all our languages are connected at some point.
Kindergarten. Oh geez, Philippe has a Dreyer jersey and a Dali jersey. Oof. Nice knowing you, Dreyer. Nice knowing you, Kenza. I think having a Mexican American on the team pulled fans onto the team. They have one, Melanie Barcenas.
She went to one camp technically for Mexico.
Yeah,
I think in like 2022 or 2020. I'm not sure. I saw it the other day when I was writing her re-signing article.
But yeah, are you guys worried about San Diego Wave going into preseason and the Coachella Invitational?
Now I am.
Yeah.
With stuff like this, it will be addressed at some point. I think fascinating. And I think now these questions are fair game, kind of.
Yes.
Maybe not specific questions, but are you okay? Like stuff like that.
Just a wellness check for San Diego Wave. Hey guys, you doing good there? Do we need to get the PERT team? We need to just the sporting. I don't know. Like, you know who I feel bad for? The Sirens.
Oh yeah, they put their heart into it.
Had a banner year last year. Like they came out and after their team was attacked for good or bad or whatever reason that San Diego Wave, the city of San Diego, was looked at.
That they really have no control over.
Nothing. And they were the ones that had to facing it.
Yeah.
They were DM'd, they were whatever, they were told everything under the sun that's negative and how they shouldn't support this team. And yet they came back and not only filled that section with even more people than we've seen, got more engagement, had fun, had the players invested. When they were there, like when I watched that the last Utah Royals game in the freezing cold out there, being the player of the match with the Pikachus and the Dragons and just like that's who I'm like bummed for, because those are the people that you're not filling up the upper bowl anymore. unless you're in a championship, you're not filling up that upper bowl of Snapdragon anymore. For sure. This season.
They didn't even do it for the Alex Morgan year.
Didn't at all. For good reason. Did you see that game? Could you imagine?
They were in bad form at that.
Very bad form. But that's who my heartstrings pull at. And it's just like, man, they're putting their everything on there. They are welcoming these players as they're coming in and getting to know them at the airport. Like,
people you get annoyed picking up family at the airport. I don't actually kind of like it, but like having to go to the airport is like such a thing that people get annoyed by. And then you having like welcoming parties for these players, international players too, who are coming to a whole new country.
Yeah.
And receiving like so much like positivity and love.
It's so genuine in the way that it is. And that's what I'll give women's sports from what I've been seeing. It's just like there's that genuine connection that happens, and I've mentioned this
across
before,
the roster too.
100%. Like you may be the last person on the roster, but you get that same respect from the fans that you would anywhere else.
Hillary Beale, people are buying Hillary Beale jerseys.
Yeah, whenever these players go out to the community, if they're not starting, they still know who they are. And I've mentioned it before, like working with kids, right? Like there's something that San Diego Wave fans have that I haven't seen as much from San Diego FC is like just the ball knowledge of like little girls who are like, oh, Kennedy Wesley, oh, she had a fantastic year. She plays like this and this and this. I have her card. I have this different version. Like just knowing the players in depth, not just as a personal thing, because yeah, like for my taste,
that's really true. I never really think about that. But like you ask the normal like kid that goes to San Diego FC game, who's your favorite player? Chucky Lozano.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ask a San Diego like a kid that goes to San Diego Wave game, and a lot of the kids will give you the fans. Oh, Kaylin Sheridan. Oh, Kennedy Wesley. Oh, Delphine Cascarino. Ken Zadali. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. Who was? I'm trying to remember who it was. There was a player that there was a little girl. Oh, you like San Diego Wave? I was doing my rounds at the schools. I'm like, you like San Diego Wave? It's like, yeah. Like, I actually have my binder with my cards today. Oh, sick. I'm like, okay. First of all, binder, great.
That's cute.
Opens it up, and she's like, who was it? I
think you remember telling me this story. Was it Amira Ali?
It might have been Amira Ali. And she's like, yeah, no, Amira. She came in and she did well, and I think she had just left. She's like, I know now she's went over to Valencia, and I can't watch her anymore, so I'm pretty sad, but I still have her jersey. And it's like, oh, like this is love and dedication to the game, to the sport, to the people.
That's beautiful, man. Like the ability for that to be created in such a short time for a franchise is like that's beautiful. I think back to like when I was a kid. Like I probably had that. I probably had that love for the Padres. I probably had that love for the Chargers. Like my mom was telling me, like she was like, you used to be annoying talking about the Chargers. She would come back. I would come back on a Sunday and tell her all about the game, and she would just like glaze over and not pay attention. Now these kids get to experience that, and it just sucks that stories like these now have to be connected to.
Yeah, and guess what? Guess who finds out about this muck? The kids. And then again, asking these stuff.
It's pro sports though.
It
is. It's part of it, and I think it's important that everyone learns part of this. It's not just the kids. I think sometimes we do kind of tend to go back to that in terms of like women's sports and women's soccer. Like it's for the kids and for the little girls. It's for everyone.
It's for everybody.
There's so many people that are interested and care,
but don't
deeply.
But again, don't let people down, because then you're not following through, and it just seems like performative pandering for these communities, and like there's no need for that. It's already genuine enough. The sport speaks for itself. We sit here, we talk X's and O's.
There's a Kira Caruso mural.
There's a Kira Caruso mural. Yeah, very, very, and little things like that, right? Like those murals that are around town for different players. Like the team doesn't go out and really like do the pomp and circumstance for what it deserves. And I really hope that moving forward, like that's their New Year's resolution. We should have done that. New Year's resolution for clubs.
We can do that next week.
Pachiwa here. But look, I'm sorry, Padre McPadre. I was excited for this upcoming season, but after this episode, not so much. I'm sorry. I hope that there is a way for your fandom to be rekindled in some way, because I love when people enjoy the game, when people enjoy the sport and are there for the genuine reasons. But this is the direction it's happening. And guess who the people that actually have a say in this can do? The fans, the people who pay, the people who invest time, money, everything. There are $17 tickets from what I saw moving into next season.
Very interesting number.
Yes. Which is
$1 less than a certain other number.
Mm-hmm. And look, if that's going to get some people in the door, great, sure. Like, I hope to see Snapdragon filled and represented by San Diego soccer and sports fans, and I hope for that for both teams. But man, it's going to be tough to do it on the Wave side, and it's going to be tough to really kind of sit there and see what these young players are going to do. And maybe this is a new thread. Maybe this is a new.
Maybe Jonas Eidevall finally gets to like fully implement the system.
Yes.
This 1 year you're starting to build. Next year you completely make it different, and now you're firing on all cylinders. Anyone can fit into the system, especially young players who can kind of have fresher minds, wet sponges, like able to suck all this new information up and aren't maybe as set in their ways as some veteran players. You could always like think of things like that. So these are also, all this being said, they could probably still probably be in the playoffs next season.
Exactly. Doesn't make it a losing season for sure.
Yeah.
Why didn't they go over for Michelle Alonzi? I mean,
Alozier.
There is, again, going to that thing of like, yeah, you can go for somebody. It's going to be for money, but do they want to be here? Does a player in the NWSL want to be here? And I'm not here to decide that for anybody, but that's a real conversation that's going through a lot of players' heads. Do I want to be in San Diego? Do I want to go into San Diego Wave? And until proven otherwise, a lot of that answer is, for right now, no. But the state of soccer in San Diego, it is what it is.